You know how I occasionally do very unpopular writing vlogs on this channel? Well, that's what this is. Theoretically, these are good videos for me to do because it's something consistent to put out, and my chin is being cut off by the video. A second. I did a video a little while back and my chin was being cut off and that really bugged me. Anyways, theoretically, these are good videos to do because they're consistent. I can do them every day and it's something to upload. And I tend to get a little lazy in my uploading schedule. The problem is these are also the hardest videos to do for me because usually when I write, I'm listening to music or watching a show or something, and can't really do that on here. You just gotta talk to people, which sucks. Ideally, at some point, I'd like to maybe get some guests on with these things so we can chit chat while we write. But see, the fun thing is, I have friends who have lives, who do things on Saturday nights, or inexplicably want to hang out with their families and not with me. So we're just here instead of hanging around my cruel friends. No, it's a joke, by the way. You don't think I'd have to clarify that, but you'd be surprised. You would be surprised. Anyways, so tonight we're going to work on short story I've been playing with, and theoretically we're going to probably work on a second short story I've been playing with, and then theoretically we're also probably just going to spend a lot of time just staring at a blank document, cursing the fact that I decided to just do this instead of doing literally any other job in the world. But it's fun and I like this, and I chose to do this. Quoting a TikTok song there, which is maybe the lowest of the low. No, that was a funny song. I have no idea where it comes from, but people know what I'm referring to. You can't see me anymore. I've been seeing these. They're a problem. It's not actually called Pigeon Decision. I just thought that was a funny name for something. There's the other one I want to work on called Tack. And then, geez, should I do that one? Sometimes I call things and I don't remember what they're called. Oh, that's not a thing. That's okay. Oh, God. Come on. Where's it? There it is. The problem with this is, and I'm sure there's a way to fix it, but that would require me focusing too long on a tech thing, is this is a white background with a white mouse, and I lose, if I'm not careful, I lose where it is, and that's bugging me. Man, I loved working on this story. I really did. I got a lot done with this one, and it's just the ideas have totally dried up, and it's so frustrating because I was so, this one was so good. I think this one, if I can get focus on this is going to be one of my better ones. But nothing's coming on that one right now, so we're moving on. So, let me explain a little bit what's going on. I think part of the problem with these last ones, why they aren't successful, is because this is a boring concept, and I don't know why anybody would watch these. But, theoretically, maybe this would be more successful if you understood a little bit of what I'm working on right now. So, this is... I've changed the name of it a few times. I don't have a definitive name what I want to call this story. But this is about two characters, and they're working for a fantasy app, basically. It's like DoorDash, but instead of picking up food, you're doing quests. It's called Adventurer, and it's about a character named... Well, it's about two characters, really. Lanny and Pigeon. And this story was following Lanny's first time using the app, and now I'm writing another short story, but we follow Pigeon instead. And I want to hope is I can write a couple of short stories featuring these characters and their various adventures with this app. And my plan is it's going to alternate between who's the focus. So this story is going to be about Pigeon, the next story is going to be about Lanny, and so on and so forth. That's the idea, anyways. And the first one is written, and the second one is I got through the beginning. And the thing is, so we're encountering a few different struggles here that I'm trying to work through. One, I'm hoping people can generally read these in any order. I'm very much going for like old school adventure pulp sort of thing, hopefully with like more comedic edge about these characters doing a variety of weird adventures. Something like Conan or Conan is a big inspiration. inspiration, but updated for more modern sensibilities, I think. And what's nice about the old adventure pulps is you can just read them in any order, and that's what I'm going for. But it's a struggle to introduce the same concept. I'm hoping eventually we just get to the point where it's like people get it. And then the second part is I want to just be able to sell these to magazines initially. Hopefully. That's a pretty big if. I would really like to get these published somewhere. I know. So a lot of big dreams, a lot of big hopes. I'm a tiny bit scared I didn't properly. So that's what I'm struggling with. And the two things oh Christ, good. Just making sure I didn't forget to. And the two things I'm struggling with right now is one, a lot going on in my life at the moment it's been hard to focus and essentially on just writing stories, which is annoying, but it is what it is. And two, I need to make sure the character of Pigeon is consistent with the previous story, but he's in a little bit of a different situation right now, and he'd be more stressed out, so he's like a laid back, avuncular, nice guy in the first story. At least that's what I was going for. And in the second story, he's a bit more stressed out because he's a grad student at a wizarding college, and finals are coming up, and a lot is going on. Basics now. So now you get to see me actually try and write some of this stuff. This is where the struggle comes in, because I'm a little bit getting blocked, but we're just gonna do it, and hopefully people will like it. I should not fiddle with Grammarly. I didn't realize I had gotten 2 pages. I actually hadn't checked the word count. How many words is this? Oh, sick as heck, bruh. Sick as heck. I don't like that. See, I've been tired lately. I've just been tired. I have some stress stuff going on in my life right now. Nothing like drama filled or anything. It's just I have some stuff I need to finish up that is affecting my ability to live a life. Ow! Christ. Grammarly does this all the time. Anyways, it's a weird story that I can't get into details right now because I want to make sure it's not overwhelming. And I should stop I can do this later. What the people pay to see. What the folks out there in TV land. I assume, of course, this is family entertainment. I assume, Mama, Papa, little baby Jeffrey, and big sister Susie are all sitting around TV with their popcorn and their blankets and just really going to town on me desperately trying to write a bit of a short story. I was kind of hoping, I'm going to be honest with you guys, the little part why I'm doing this is just to motivate myself to do this. I'm not totally thrilled with this dialogue. This is first drafty dialogue. I feel like I do a lot better. It's so frustrating when you can do better and there's a thing in your brain that you can tell wants to do better, but you can't access that version of yourself that can. And it's just like... And I never do good writing on these, so just be prepared. Some people have noted that I maybe overfill stories with information. This is also a new keyboard. I'm not totally used to it yet. That's why he stood ramrod straight when staring up. And its presence. In its presence. It's only been 15 minutes. Damn it. There's a bug. I want to go for about an hour, so. Well, gotcha. So, basically, this story is, and in no way is this a story about me who is reflected in my life. Yes, I am thinking about going back to college for my master's. So, this is about a character who's in college for his master's and is regretting it. In no way is this at all should be read as an anxiety of mine. No. Ramrod straight. That feels like it's a repeated idea, right? That's why he stood Ramrod. I don't know. This will get Asimov magazine to really buy my story. I'm writing something. I'm trying to work on stuff that I want publishers to buy, and then I'm working on stuff that I plan to release online, and it's kind of, there's an arbitrariness to that. This is gonna suck. So there's this writer, John Swartzwelder. If you know him, he wrote for The Simpsons. I don't know why you would know him if you didn't know about The Simpsons, I guess. That's his most famous thing. He also has some really funny books out about a private detective called The Time Machine Did It. That's the first one, anyways. And they are these absolutely some of the funniest books you'll ever read. And it's very. And John Swartzwelder, I believe, has written the most episodes of The Simpsons, including a ton of classics. Anyways, he's also a very famous recluse, and he barely talks to people. And there was a legend for a while that he was just a pen name for different authors, writers on The Simpsons. That's not true. He's a real guy. He's actually done at least one interview. And it's funny because pop history, and I don't know if this is real, because in Parks and Recreation, it is said that Ron Swanson is essentially based on John Swartzwelder. And I don't know if that's exactly true, because Swanson is based on a real politician that the writers met while researching for Parks and Recreation. But Swartzwelder is, oh God, am I saying it wrong? I hope I'm not. Is said to be very much inspired, is very much like Swanson in a lot of ways. And I put out this interview, and he talked about his writing method, and he says he actually tries to finish everything he needs to write in a day. His first draft is like, just get it done in a day, doesn't matter how good it is. And then later you can come back and add all the fun stuff. And I think that's a really good way of writing. Clearly, I'm not good at it, because I'm doing this instead of writing the proper Swartzwelder way of living your life. Anyway. So the current story is Pigeon and Lanny have gotten a job through Adventurer, and it's the only thing they have to do is clean up a fraternity house. That's their only job. The last story, all they had to do was get a rat out of the fraternity, out of a convenience store. So something is going to go very wrong. I have an idea what it is that's going to go very wrong and what's actually going on, because that's kind of a central joke with Adventurer. It always sounds relatively innocuous, and then there's, ooh, nope, something big is happening. And if you want to figure out what is happening, pay me. No. What is happening? Well, in that one, you'll probably have to read it. So, writing, not distractions. It's a very powerful word. It's a very important word. It speaks, I think, to the nature of humanity. I have no ideas. I have one right. Ooh. Oh God, I'm also such a shitty speller. Where do I do this? Low to the ground. No more than 19. Has to be a better way of it. No, we're just gonna get shit done. Just get stuff on. I had a tattoo of a mermaid with a tattoo of a mermaid. Use like some sort of alcohol. Don't worry, I'm not. There's something going on here. I don't want to reveal what it is necessarily, but there's something sinister going on here. The perspective of, anyways, a bottle of those red lines. Man, they make me anxious. No more than 19. He had alcohol. That's a rich world. Not school. Jesus. Anything specific? That's how you know it's good world building, when it's vague and undefined. That's what you want out of a good bit of world building. I don't know. This is always one of these frustrations I have with fantasy. I like writing it, but it's always like, I always have like an inclination. Well, I should probably create an alcohol brand that everybody drinks. And it's like, oh man, but then I have to explain it. There's a type of alcohol that is made only by a monastery in France type of. I've always been fascinated by it. I forget what it is. You'll get mad at me when I say it. It's the green one. There's a few. I always find that such an interesting little detail in fantasy. In that it's like one of the things that monasteries are known for is producing. This is the one I was thinking of. Liquor. You never see that, and I always think that would be such a cool fantasy idea. Of there's just this little monastery somewhere full of monks who are producing this strange alcohol that everybody drinks. Chartreuse was the one I was thinking of, but I think there's a few others apparently that do that. It's a weird thing that monks are associated with beer, alcohol. Trap is, which explains why The Simpsons did that in God, I'm referencing late period Simpsons. Nobody cares about that. But that's one of the better late period episodes where Homer and Superintendent Chalmers make their own beer. I actually kind of like that. I feel like there's something that was a B plot, and I know there's an A plot, and I have no idea what the A plot is, but I liked that episode because that was just fun to watch two guys bond over something like that. I don't know. Do people? I don't know. There's something charming about just watching two people bond over a hobby. I like that. I know there was an underage party that I just liked the brewing thing. I don't know. I want to have a craft like that. Why don't we do crafts anymore? Millennials, Gen Zers, let's get into crafts. Let's start doing woodwork. I don't want to do woodwork. Saws scare me, but we should do crafting of some sort. 2 bottles. Let's see. English. Let's to Latin. Let's do this. It won't exactly be a precise translation, but let's make up a liquor right now. Ed, donkey, mort. Oh my god! Shut up, Grammarly. Mortis, anis, dead. That would be funny, but capra mortura. Dead goat, sure. Which is capra mortura. Tunna. His head. Oh my god! Fine, I fix it. I would struggle quite mightily without Grammarly. Oh, that's but one. The word tape to his hands. That's such a thralling description. How long have I been doing this for? I'm gonna do this for like an hour, but it's gonna be 20 minutes for you guys. Whatever. I figured out what I'm gonna call this writing stream, by the way. It's gonna be called Struggle! A writing vlog. When I say stream, I meant vlog. His hands. Care and precision. Stick. Blah! What? See. You're probably not going to see any of this. I'll just say these words now, and you're going to be like, whoa, much time has passed. Sometime. That is the important key. Some of it has passed. See, I'm being very clever because this is a reference to something that happened up early. See, I'm being very clever because this is a reference to something that happened before. You guys don't see, but earlier in the story. Phrase or something. 25 years old. I said I would do an hour. It's sort of funny. It's very sticky, but we'll do it. I have an idea, but it's very sitcom-y, so it's okay. Making it better. The more important thing is to write it, and then I will get too emotionally attached to that, and whenever I hear even a little bit of criticism, I get very frustrated. It's a bad habit of mine. Half of the time I'm really cool with criticism, and the other half of the time I kind of wish I wasn't in the room when people gave me critiques. One of my problems is as a writer, I fall in love quickly with stuff I write, especially with characters stuff. I don't know. I know there are writers who are like, I treat them solely as tools for my writing. That's why my YouTube channel is so much better than yours. Not talking about anybody in specific, but it just doesn't work like that for me. For me to really engage with something, I have to want to write about the characters, and you always end up falling a little bit in love. It's not like I have the belief of everything has to work out perfectly and my characters can do no wrong, but it's just, for something to work for me, it has to be that I somehow care about what the characters are doing, and that's just what I'm working on right now. I always end up caring. I don't know. And this story is not a dark fantasy where it's an anti-hero who doesn't give a shit about anything. No, it's a parody fantasy world a little bit. Although I do have a lot of notes written about how this world works, but you know, it's a satire, it's a parody, but I care enough about the characters that I want them to be interesting and compelling. What the heck are you, sir? I hope you are. Well, on this fine day, and being a productive citizen like I'm doing right now, as I am doing right now. But I am studying very diligently. I am studying very diligently and being very diligent in my studies, and I am not. I can be better at this. Okay, there it is. Sorry, I don't know how to do one. I just reminded. Have you guys ever seen? It's a show. It's called Oh, what is that show called? There's a real whatever. Good evening, sir. Too many other people's voices are in my head right now. I hope you are doing well, being a productive citizen student, as I am doing right now. I know, I am simply, I swear I know how to do this stuff. At one point in my life, I could do this so easily. For like 6 months this year, suddenly it just clicked and I was able to write 1,000 words a day, and it's like, woo, woo. I got very confident, and then it just all went away. Let's see. Well, I'm going to call it here. You get to see a lot of writing done, but you got to see a little bit of writing done. Despite how distressed I am, some days you write a lot, and some days it is carrying 1,000 pounds. It just means sometimes there's struggle, and sometimes there isn't. But today, a struggle with an exclamation point, which is what I'm going to name this video. Thank you for indulging me, if you did indulge me, and if you didn't, I get it. Why would you? The cool ones did. You know, the people who watch these, I assume, logically, are, they drive around on motorcycles, wear leather jackets, have cool sunglasses, pretty much are living Fawn's way at all points. Thank you for indulging me.